What the fuck is up? It is your host, Erica Nalen, and welcome back to another episode of the Hangover series. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hangover series. Welcome back. How are we doing? I have some major M-A-J-O-R, major life updates to go over today that I'm excited to tell you guys about, that hopefully will help me process what major life changes are about to happen, because I don't even think I've processed them yet. I am currently sitting on the floor. My mattress is on the floor because I officially have almost sold all of my furniture here in Chicago. Someone came and picked up my dresser this morning. Someone's picking up my headboard later, hoping someone buys my mattress. It's looking like no one wants this mattress, but this mattress is really nice and it's really comfy and it's really not that old. So I'm hoping someone comes and buys it, but it's not looking good. But I hope someone. I tried to the guy that's coming to buy my headboard today, I tried to do a deal with him. I was like, let's do a deal. You can have the mattress, you can have the bedboard. Let's do a deal. You can have the mattress, you can have a headboard, you can have it for $500 or more. But he was like, no, I have a mattress. So that's what's going on. I'm kind of excited to sleep on the floor tonight. Well, I'm not sleeping on the floor, but sleep with my mattress on the floor. I feel like it's reminding me of my old apartment in a way. If you're new here, my old apartment that I lived in last year, I lived in a loft situation, literally was obsessed with it, literally wish I still lived there. It was amazing. But basically I had to climb up a ladder to get to my bed every night, and my mattress was just on the loft floor. I didn't have a bed stand or whatever it's called. A bed stand, a bedboard, bedspread, whatever it's called. I didn't have one of those, so it was just on the floor, but it was so perfect. I miss that apartment so much. That was the best first apartment I could have ever had. But yeah, I've been selling everything I own basically. I sold my dresser, selling the headboard, sold my couch, sold a rug, sold my mirror, sold a coat rack, and I'm going to be selling my desk here soon. I just need it to work, so I haven't sold it yet because I'm kind of using it and I don't want to work on the floor. I feel like that'd be a bit difficult, but that will soon be sold too. But yeah, I am selling everything I own basically. I also have gone through all of my clothing items, and I have, I think, 8 trash bags filled with clothes, and shoes and random trinkets, that I'm gonna donate. So you're probably wondering now, okay, girl, we get it. You're selling all your shit. You're giving away your clothes. What's going on? And what's going on is that I am moving to New York City. Woo! Cheers to that. I'll say it again in case you missed it, even though I think that would be hard to miss. I am moving to New York City. Freaking cheers. Sauvignon Blanc has been hitting different lately. I only took a sip of that because I was sitting down with you guys today and I wanted to cheers, but I don't think I'm going to drink anymore because I need to go to Chipotle later because I'm trying not to buy groceries. And I don't want to go to Chipotle after I've had a glass of wine. That just seems like a setup for disaster. I would be like, more queso on my burrito, all the queso, it would just not be good. But yeah, I am moving to New York City, you guys. What the fuck? I actually don't even think I've processed that at all. I really don't think I've processed that, but it's happening. I'm moving, and I'm moving in approximately 5 days. So that's fucking crazy. When this episode comes out, I'll actually be in New York City. I will be driving, I think, like a couple hours that day, but I'll be in New York moving into my new apartment. So that's crazy. And this is my last podcast episode in Chicago, which is also crazy. So major life changes are coming my way, and I am so excited, but also haven't processed it. So yeah, I don't even think that I will process it until I'm there and I've been living there for a month, because I feel like that's kind of what happened when I moved to Chicago. Everyone was like, wait, are you so excited? Are you this? Are you that? Which, like, I was so excited to move here to Chicago. But I didn't process it until I was here. And I feel like that's what's happening moving to New York. I know that it's happening. And I know that I'm going there. And I know that I'm moving there. But I haven't processed it. I don't know. I just, like, I can't process things until they're happening, I feel like. You know, like, I'm aware, but I'm not going to feel it until I'm there. But yeah, I'm so excited. A little scared, but mainly excited. Like, I'm just so excited. I don't even think I know what's coming, but yeah. Yeah, so I guess we can kind of just get into why I'm moving there, what's been going on, and why I haven't told you guys. Because if you're my friend and you're listening to this and you're like, wait, you haven't even told me that you're moving to New York, let me, like, clarify a few things, because yeah, I probably haven't told you that I'm moving to New York. And I just told some of my friends, like, literally yesterday, and they're like, wait, can I, like, see you before you leave? Like, what the fuck? So it's not you, it's me, truly. So if you're my friend and also a listener, because you're probably also like, wait, why have you not told us that you're moving to New York? Like, why are you just now telling us? And to be completely honest, I haven't I haven't signed my lease yet. Okay. They said they're sending it Monday. I've been asking for them to send the lease for a long time. It's been a conundrum, to say the least. It has raised my cortisol levels. I have been stressed out over this goddamn lease. But it's coming. It's coming. They said it was coming Friday, but now they said Monday. So it's coming Monday and everything's going to be fine. Everyone is like, how are you staying so calm? Literally don't know, but I'm just like, it's going to be fine. Okay, everything's fine. But that is why I hadn't told you guys, and why I hadn't told some of my friends either, is straight up because I haven't signed my lease, because it hasn't been sent yet. So yeah, I just was like, well, I haven't even signed a lease, so maybe I shouldn't tell people that I'm moving there. But everything else has been planned and good to go. I just, like, need the lease, but apparently it's coming. I am moving, so I thought it was, appropriate to tell you guys now and appropriate to tell my friends. But yeah, that's happening. And I'm really excited. I am going to be living with a roommate, so I'm very excited to meet her in person. She actually lives in the apartment right now, so I'm just taking over for her current roommate who moved out, joining in, and it's gonna be a really good time. I'm really excited. I am leaving on next weekend, so my mom's coming in this week, and we're actually driving to New York, which might sound crazy. And everyone I've told is like, how many hours is that? And maybe that is crazy, but I originally wanted to bring some of my furniture, specifically my bed, because I'm really obsessed with my bed, and I'm not even kidding, like, the comfiest bed I've ever laid on. And it was expensive because it was the only bed that would fit in the loft at my old apartment, so that's why I had to buy an expensive mattress. But that was, like, one of the major reasons why I wanted to bring my furniture. But since I'm moving into an apartment that somebody already lives in, there's already, like, a couch and all the furniture, so I don't really need furniture. And I had another friend who had moved from one state to New York in the past, and she said she like shipped all of her stuff at UPS, like in boxes, shipped all of her stuff, and it was like a couple $100s. So I was like, okay, that could be an option. And then I had another friend who had moved cross country as well, and she had like people come pick up her furniture and her boxes and stuff, and then they drove it for her. But since I was moving into an apartment that already has furniture for me, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna like hire someone to just drive a bunch of boxes for me. Like, I feel like that's a waste of money. I'm really hoping my new apartment does not have annoying sirens, but I fear it probably will be worse, but we'll have to see. But yeah, I wasn't gonna hire someone to like just drive a couple boxes for me. I could have shipped through UPS to my apartment, but I just didn't really see how that would be a good idea for me because my friend who had done that moved into a building where they would like keep your stuff in a storage room or something for you. But my building that I'm moving into, that's not really an option. So I feel like I would have just had a ton of boxes just like sitting in a random place, and it would just be overfilling the room. And like, I don't know, I just was like, I don't think that's an option for me. And also some of the items that I'm bringing just like would probably be more expensive to ship that way than it would be to just bring it myself, but like I didn't want to sell them kind of thing. So my mom and I are driving there. I'm so thankful that I have a mom that will help me move to New York, because at one point I thought I was going to have to do this all by myself, and I was like, wait, I don't know if I can drive 12 hours like alone. Like, I feel like I would fall asleep, being so for real. So I'm glad that I have someone that is able to help me move. Thank you, Mom. But yeah, so my mom's coming here. We are renting a large car. We're going to pack up the car and we're going to drive to New York from Chicago. Apparently it's like a 12-hour drive, so that's like 14 hours when you include stops, maybe like 15. Small bladder problems, but we're driving there, which is crazy. Don't think I've processed that, but like I feel like I manifested driving there in a sense, because I remember a while ago I told you guys like I've been craving a road trip. Like, I'm just craving a road trip, and I went on a road trip to Kansas City, but maybe I manifested too hard and they meant, no, you're craving a road trip to New York City. You're craving driving 12 hours, which 12 hours is far. This is definitely going to be like the longest road trip journey I've ever been on, but I think it will be fun. Like, I think it will be fun. I think it's going to bring me back to being in middle school when I danced and we used to go to competitions that were out of state. Like, one time my mom and I drove to Texas for a competition, and it was so much fun. And that was like a 9-hour drive. I feel like it was far. So we got this handled. We're used to it. I feel like road trips are fun. Okay. Like, I know some people are like, I could never do that. I think they're kind of fun. You get to listen to music. You get to eat snacks. You get to eat lunch in the car. You get to hang out with your mom for 12 hours. Like, what? You get to be in comfy clothes all day. You get to look at pretty views. Like, I see no complaints at all doing this. I only see joy on the horizon. That was poetic. But I'm so excited. Like, I'm literally so excited. And I've never driven this route before. Like, I've only really driven to like Colorado, some Midwestern states, and to Texas. So I've never driven the East Coast. I feel like it's got to be a pretty drive, I hope. Hopefully we'll see something cool, but I'm so excited. And I'm also like, this is so bittersweet. I don't think I've processed that I'm leaving Chicago, but I'm sure I'll be back to visit friends. And like, I love Chicago so much. So like, I'm sure I'll be here. But a lot of people have been asking me like, why New York? Why would you leave a place that you love so much? Because everyone that I've told, or a lot of people, have been like, I thought Chicago was like your place. I thought that's where you really wanted to go. Like, why would you leave somewhere that you really enjoyed living and you wanted to live at so bad? Like, why would you leave Chicago? And to be honest, as much as I love Chicago and the time that I've spent here and like literally love the city here so much, like I'm obsessed with it, I honestly never saw it as my final destination. And I'm not even saying New York is my final destination. I have so much life to live still. Um, but I never really saw Chicago as my final destination. I kind of saw it as my starting point for the life that I wanted to start living. And I think that it's given me exactly that. I feel like I've done exactly what I wanted to do here, and it's got me going. And made me become who I wanted to be while I was here. And I'm excited to like expand that in New York. I feel like for my whole life, I always have wanted to move to New York. And I always saw New York in my future. I seriously used to lie to people in elementary school, and I would tell people that I was from New York. I'm literally not from New York. I was from Omaha, Nebraska, but I have like one specific memory. I don't know if this was like the first time I lied to someone or what, but it's like clear as day in my brain. I was at recess and talking to a friend, and they were like, "Where are you from?" I don't know why someone was asking that in elementary school, but I swear someone was like, "Where are you from?" And I was like, "I'm from New York City." Like I straight up told people that in elementary school, and I have it clear as day in my brain. And I think it's because maybe I was manifesting that or I was just like, wow, I'm lying right now. Like, should I feel guilty? I don't know, but I remember being like, I'm from New York City, okay? And all throughout my life, like, I have just felt a calling to New York. I love a city. I've just always been the kid that was printing off pictures of New York City, having them in my room, putting them in my journal. It's always on my Pinterest page. Like, I have just felt a calling to there. I also have a lot of family from there. So maybe that's where I was getting my lie from. Like, I was like, well, my family's from there. So, like, I'm from there. But I have family that still lives there and a lot of family that was from there. So, yeah, I just like feel like I've always wanted to live there, and I feel like there's no better time than now. I think for me, it would have been hard for me to move from living in Nebraska my whole entire life to moving to New York for some reason. I feel like it would have just been like such a different change, like so different. Like going from Omaha, Nebraska to New York City would have been probably really overwhelming for me. I wouldn't have known what to do, how to act, where I was. Like I feel like it would have gone really terribly, and I would have ended up maybe hating it, and I didn't ever want to hate it. So I feel like moving from Nebraska to Chicago was like what I wanted to do, to live in a new city away from what I knew and get a feel for what that is like before making the big jump to New York. But now I feel, you know, confident and ready for it. I've lived on my own for 2 years. I have lived in a city for 2 years, and I know New York is a lot different than Chicago, but I finally feel ready for it. So I'm like, why not? You know, I'm in my 20s, I'm single, I have literally nothing holding me back. I have the great opportunity of working fully remote, so I'm able to do this, which I think is also like a huge blessing, honestly, because if I wasn't working remote, I would have had to like find a job prior, but I have like the opportunity. I don't know, I'm looking for a word, but I can't find it, but I have, yeah, the opportunity to just get up and move because my job is fully remote, and I'm so lucky for that. So I'm like, feel like this is like, you know, a sign, like, let's do the thing. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm really excited, but I just have always wanted to go there, and I've always wanted to live there. And I just feel like it's always been calling my name. So I'm like, you know what, let's go. I was always called to Chicago as well. I remember the first time I ever came to Chicago, I felt a connection here and I loved it. And I just like was lost in the Macy's store. My family left me there and I was lost. And I was like, I like it here. So I always wanted to move here, did my time, love it. There's so many amazing people and places, and Chicago's awesome. So, like, would recommend living here to anyone. But I think I'm just ready personally for my next step and moving in that direction. I'm also really excited to be living on the East Coast because I've never had a lobster roll before, and I really want to go to Maine maybe this summer or sometime and try my first lobster roll there. I know you can get a good lobster roll like in other places, but since I've never had one, I don't even know if I like lobster, to be honest, but since I've never had one, I'm like, I want my first lobster roll to be in Maine. And now I'm going to be so close to Maine. So I'm like, okay, yeah, my first lobster roll is happening in Maine. Like, sorry, it's not happening anywhere else. It's happening in Maine. And I'm going to eat that lobster roll up. But yeah, I'm freaking excited. I think it's going to be a good adventure. I think it's going to be hopefully everything I wish for and more. I don't think I've processed it, but like I know I'm excited and then I'm going to get there and then I feel like it's all going to hit me and I'm going to be like, okay, yeah, this is what I was looking for. This is who I was meant to be kind of feeling. I also don't think I wanted to tell a lot of people at first before I got things more settled because I feel like when you start telling people things before they come true and before they actually start happening, I feel like this has happened to me in the past. But like somehow it gets ruined sometimes. Like I feel like when you tell too many people something, like it's bound to get ruined. And I didn't want to like jinx my luck or like do anything like that. I just didn't want it to like get out before I knew what I was doing. And I also didn't really want to hear the opinions of other people's thoughts on it. I still did get lots of opinions from people that I wasn't asking for, but I just took it with a grain of salt. I feel like no matter what change you're going through in life, whether it's moving to a certain state, moving to like a new city, changing jobs, picking a career, literally doing anything in life, like people have opinions on everything. It's just what people do. People have opinions. It's whatever. But sometimes you don't want to hear the opinions. And I feel like I've noticed that actually a lot more in my 20s after graduating college, how many opinions people have in like all aspects of life. Like you start a job somewhere and everyone's like, oh, interesting. Didn't know you were interested in sales. Or you move to Montana and everyone's like, oh, interesting. Why would they move to Montana? I hate Montana. And you're like, okay, well, thank God you're not moving to Montana. Just stuff like that. Like, I feel like people are so opinionated, and sometimes I think it might be projection, and sometimes I guess people just have opinions. But I didn't want to hear those opinions because I just didn't want to hear it. And the opinions that I've got from people about me moving to New York were that, you know, a lot of people were just like, oh my God, I would never live in New York. Like, I don't even know the amount of times I heard that, but it was quite a bit of people just being like, I would never want to live there. Like, it's so expensive. It smells like shit. This, that, like, there's so many people, blah, blah, blah. And like, all things are true. Like, those are true statements. But I don't want to hear those statements in a negative way. And it probably does smell like shit, but like, I don't have anything to defend that actually. But I just like didn't want to hear those opinions because I am like excited to move there. I've always wanted to live there, and right now I don't care that it probably smells like shit and that it's really crowded and all those things. Like, I just have a calling to that place, and I didn't want these opinions to stop me from doing that. So that's also a reason why I didn't tell people, because the people I was telling were like, what? And I feel like, I don't know if this is just like a Chicago thing, but I feel like in Chicago, everyone has some like opinion on New York. I don't know if it's because we're both like cities or something, but I feel like everyone here, or like a big majority of people here, every time you bring up New York, they're always like, Chicago's way better than New York. Chicago this, Chicago that, Chicago has this, Chicago has that. And they're like big haters on New York sometimes, I feel like. Like, I feel like a lot of the people I've run into, they hate New York. So I just didn't want to bring that energy to me and my movings. But yeah, I feel like a lot of change is coming in the fact that I'm going to have to do my laundry at a laundromat. That's a big one coming my way, but I'm kind of excited for it. I think I'm gonna like order this large backpack. Large. I feel like I said that weird. Large. This large backpack to do my laundry in. I'm like kind of excited, I think. And yeah. I'm just excited, and I feel like I have said this so many times, but I also just want to encourage everybody to like move out of your hometown at some point in life. I feel like I always wanted to move out of my hometown since like age 4. Like I was like, get me the fuck out of here. You know, it took me till I was 22, but I was like, get me the fuck out of here. Like I hate it here. And then I like got lost for a while, didn't know what I was doing, but then I found my way back and got the fuck out of there. So just want to encourage everybody to like move out of your hometown and go see and experience something new. I feel like it was really hard for me to change who I was when I was in the same space. And I feel like living in a small town, like it's hard for you to change when you're just familiar with everything. So I feel like moving away is just like one of the best things that has ever happened to me. And I'm excited to move away again, even though it's going to be very interesting because I'm going to be having to make all new friends and, you know, figuring out the grocery stores I like and all the things. I feel like that kind of excites me, actually. I know a lot of people are like, wait, why would you want to have to make all new friends, and why would you get away from what you know? But stuff like that brings an excitement in me. Like I love people, I love meeting new people, I love experiencing people, and I just love change, I think. So I'm excited for it. And yeah, I just want to encourage you guys to like do the thing. And if people are hating on your decisions, they're probably just unhappy. I don't know. People have opinions on literally everything, and people's opinions. I mean, I have a lot of opinions. I have a lot of opinions myself. But like, I don't want anyone to take them seriously sometimes, you know? Like, I could be like, I hate mustard. I don't hate mustard, but I could be like, I hate mustard. That's like an opinion that nobody should be concerned about. But when someone's like negatively impacting what you're doing, that's when I'm like, I don't need your opinion. I do not need your opinion. But yeah, that's my latest update. I honestly thought that I was gonna sit down with you guys today and tell you guys that I'm moving out of Chicago and like start crying, but again, I don't even think I've processed that I'm like moving out of Chicago. Like what? I just like have had so many good memories in Chicago from moving into my first apartment and starting the Hangover series. And starting my podcast, I was like actually hungover every single time I sat down to record, which is kind of crazy. But that's what was happening. And I feel like I am just like such a different person from when I moved here. Like such a different person. I was actually going through photos on Instagram the other day and through my memories, because my camera is always bringing up memories from like the past. I feel like all of our phones do that. And I was just like looking at who I was when I was like 21 years old, and I'm just like, obviously I know her, but like she doesn't know me. And I am just such a different person. Like such a different person. Like I cannot even believe that I'm finally like having a podcast, even though I've been doing this for like a year and a half now. Like I can't believe that, you know, I'm actually doing what I said I would. I can't believe that I moved to Chicago. Like I can't believe that I'm moving to New York. I can't believe that I started writing again. I can't believe that I'm reading books. Like I used to love reading books when I was younger, and I don't know why I ever stopped. And just so many things like that. Like I feel like sometimes in college and high school and whatever part of life you're in, like you can get so lost and try to fit in with everybody else. I don't know where I'm going with this, but like I just feel like in life it's so easy to lose sight of who you are, who you want to be, what you want to prioritize, and you just lose track of yourself sometimes, and maybe you start to follow the crowd. I know I did that for a long, long time. And just like looking back at who I was and how I was following the crowd and how I was just doing what everyone else was doing because I thought that was the right thing to do. And now, like, looking at who I am and realizing I'm not following a crowd and I'm doing what I want to do is just really amazing and refreshing and nice to, like, see and know. So, yeah, it's just crazy. It's just crazy to see who I was when I got here and who I am now. I also went from, like, being a college girl and going out 3 times a week to not ever going out that often. I mean, I do still go out, but, like, not as often, and just, like, finding your purpose and all the things, which I think just happens naturally sometimes too. But I don't know where I'm going with all of this, but I'm just excited to move and to see what New York has in store for me. And I'm even thinking, like, oh my gosh, like, I gave up dating in Chicago, like, very quickly because it was just going very poorly. Like, my first date ever here was literally the worst date ever. Like, I don't even think I told you guys the story about it. Maybe I did, but I feel like I didn't because I was so embarrassed by it that I don't even think I ever told you guys. But maybe I can tell you guys now that we're moving out of Chicago, because the guy that the date was on with, like, when we went on a date, I mean, it was like 2 years ago, but his apartment is, like, literally next to my current apartment. So I was always so scared that I would run into this guy and, like, face my fears. And I was so scared of that. Or that he would see the podcast in the episode. And I just never wanted to face that because of how tragic our date was. Like, oh my God, you guys would actually be like, you're insane. So maybe once I move, I'll tell you guys about it, because now that it's been like 2 years, I'm like, okay, it's kind of funny now to think about what happened on that date, but it's just, like, the most chaotic date I think I could have ever experienced in my whole life. Like, I was on X game modes, but, like, I gave up dating here because all of my dates were basically just, like, going to drinks, getting drunk, and making terrible decisions. And some of my dates were really weird. One of my dates, like, made out with someone I knew once or something. Like, it was just really bad vibes here. So I stopped dating here, and then I saw all over TikTok that dating here is just, like, ass. So I was like, you know what? I'm done. And I knew I wanted to move away. So I was like, man, why am I settling? But I'm thinking that maybe dating in New York will be more fun. I have been told that, like, or I've seen online that in New York, if you're dating or, like, going out with one guy, just assume he's going out with, like, 7 other girls. And I'm like, okay, well, if I'm going out with one guy, I'm going to need him to assume that I'm going out with 7 other guys too, because why are we, like, the guys going out with 7 other girls? Like, bitch, I'm going out with 7 other guys too. Like, it's not just you, babe. So maybe dating in New York will be fun. I don't know. I don't want to, like, jump on that, like, too soon, but I have been like, maybe we'll try it out there. You know, maybe it could be fun there. I feel like there's so many more people, so you have a lot of more options. It could be more chaotic, but, like, I love a little chaos sometimes, okay? I think we're fully aware of that, but I think it could be fun. I don't know. I'm, like, still not looking for a boyfriend at this exact moment in time. And I feel like for the past couple weeks, I have just been, like, waiting. Like, I've just been waiting to move. Like, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to go on another friend date. I'm not going to, like, go do something bizarre because I'm moving soon. So I've just been, like, stalling pretty much. But yeah, I have been thinking, like, maybe dating in New York would be fun. I don't know. I'll have to, like, see if I'm ready for that avenue. But I think that could be in my near future. Maybe not near future. In, like, my couple months future. Because I just want to, like, try it out. Okay. But yeah, that's my life update. Major life update. That I had to give. I'm so excited. I can't wait to like just experience New York and all it has to offer. I feel like it has so much to offer, so many opportunities. Like, I'm freaking excited. I'm freaking excited. And I'm so excited to eat pizza. I told my mom, like, let's get pizza immediately when we get there, please, because I love pizza. And I'm so excited for my mom to come here because I'm like, we should go get my favorite bagel. It was my first ever bagel that I had in Chicago from Bagel Authority, the Lox Bagel. Obsessed. I think it was like on my hinge when I first moved here, like, this bagel slaps, and I think I need to eat it before I go. So I'm gonna be like, Mom, we need to go get bagels here because that was the first thing I ate when I got to Chicago, and I want it to be the last thing I eat before I leave, type shit. So I'm gonna be doing that. Their Lox Bagel, like, my mouth, you guys, recently, which maybe I should Google this because what the fuck? We're gonna need to fix this before I start going on dates in New York. But recently, when this might be like so weird, and I'm sorry if this weirds anyone out, but recently, I like don't even know how to tell you guys this, but recently, when I have been thinking about like a food item that I had in the past, like, for example, this Lox Bagel that I am obsessed with, I'm trying to think of like other examples, like the best mashed potatoes and gravy I ever had in my life, my mom's enchiladas. Like, when I think about stuff like that, like, if I think about it too hard and I like imagine it, my mouth has been like literally fucking drooling. Like, it has been like getting intense to like, it's like, oh my God, I need that in my fucking mouth right now. So what is that a sign of? Is that just a sign of like, you should probably eat that? Like, you are clearly hungry? Like, I don't know, but I'm not even kidding. It's happened like for the past few months where I've been like really imagining like a food that I'm like, oh my God, that was like the best fucking meal of my life. Or I've been like craving something that my mom makes back at home, and I'm like my mouth is drooling right now. It's obviously not drooling like a dog, but like, just know my mouth like wants to drool right now because I'm thinking about that bagel. I don't know if that's like really weird of me to share, but I just, maybe someone can relate. Maybe someone can relate and maybe their mouth also drools. Unsure. But yeah, my biggest fear actually about New York, this is what I'll end with. My biggest fear is, I know there's a lot of street interviewers there. There's a lot of street interviewers there. We don't really have that in Chicago. I do not know anyone coming up to you in the street and just randomly filming you and being like, hi, you look confident. Tell me why you're confident. That's who I always see on my For You page. And then there's like this other lady that lives in New York, and she just like goes up and videotapes people and is like, who are you? What's your first and last name? And she just like really will not take the camera off you. Like, I feel like you can't be like, hi, stop recording me, or she like follows you. So that is actually my biggest fear, is those kinds of people in New York, is someone just like coming up and videotaping me before like asking, or like someone running up to me and being like, ma'am, I love your outfit. I don't think anyone would do that, but like, ma'am, I love your outfit. Tell us where it's from. And like, I feel like I would be so caught off guard. And with the rough, like the resting unhappy face, like I feel like people would be like, that girl looks like a bitch, you know? So that's my biggest fear. So literally crossing my fingers that no one ever comes up to me and starts interviewing me in the middle of the street, because I'm literally not going to know how to act. Or I feel like I would say something like so wrong. Like, I would just like lie and be like, I would just like make something up on the spot, and it would be really dumb. I don't know. It's like my biggest fear. But I know people that live in New York, and I don't think that's happened to them. So fingers crossed it does not happen to me. I'm so scared. But yeah, that's what I wanted to end with. I am excited to move there. I can't believe this is my last ever podcast episode in Chicago. Like, that's crazy. That's literally so crazy. I just want to scream. I literally just want to scream. But thank you so much for supporting me and for tuning in. And I will catch you guys in New York. Bye.